Thanos Spaces. That's the start of the pod intro. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm joined today by two lovely gentlemen. It's another month, another episode. Let's start quickly by plugging the socials. So follow us on Instagram, Pitstop Fracas, Twitter, Pitstop Fracas, TikTok, Pitstop Fracas. We'll be posting content on all of these platforms. So joining me today is Brother Martz. How are you, Martz?
I'm good. Just enjoying the bank holiday. Get to see my baby tomorrow. Should see her. Yes. Can't wait.
We will be there. We will be there. We will be there. And then, Brother Kwame, how are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I'm getting some rest this bank holiday, man. So, eating good, sports, extravaganza.
I'm telling you, if it
What
was...
do you mean by extravaganza, Kwame? What do you mean by that?
Sports, extravaganza. You've had the, Monaco. You've got Indy 500. You've got the FA Cup playoff final, championship playoff final.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I was gonna say he wasn't outside. If it was Sydney Sweeney, he would have been outside with us tomorrow, bro.
See, she was there. She was the last game, but the hate for Poch came in too much, so I stayed in.
Is Poch still there? Sorry.
Nah, he's gone, mate.
He's gone. Did they actually fire him?
Yeah. Mutual consent. We didn't fire him, but mutual consent. But he's gone. So
yeah, they got rid of Poch. They have no manager now. So
good. Rest in peace.
All right, let's quickly get on to since the last recording. There was 2 races. We've come back to Europe, so no more stupid times for races. First was Imola. Kwame, anything you want to add about Imola? The Max Verstappen win and
Max cooking, yeah, literally. He caught up P1. He finished P1. I mean, I guess the good thing though is to see, the McLarens and the Ferraris, being close again. You'll see Lando was P2 there. So it's good to see kind of that battle of the F1 like 1.25. But yeah, what more can I say? Max 1, Q1, Max P1, R1.
Yeah. Master, did you even watch the race?
Not Imola. No. I think I might have been outside for Imola.
No, fair enough. It was not a good race. Lando tries to make it fun at the end, but I'll get onto the crimes of Pirelli on another day, man. That's another pod. And then obviously we've had Monaco won by Mr. Charles Leclerc. So Annick's been actively tweeting off the account, and we can speak to him again. And of course followed by Oscar Piastri and then Carlos Sainz. Anything to add on this procession? Because nothing changed from qualifying. You actually didn't
Nothing. Yeah, I think that's the first time in F1 history that the top 10 hasn't changed from quality to races. It didn't change, which kind of it's what that it sounds like Monaco. It just sums up modern Monaco. So I mean, big up Charles getting his home win finally. I know the Prince and all of their chaperons were gleaming with joy, gritting teeth that homeboy won, but apart from that, obviously the first lap, is interesting there. You can talk about the whole pitting and trying to do down the car and all that, but yeah, just Monaco be Monaco really. That thumbs up, man.
Honestly, Monaco. I missed that the restart and the thing, but the actual start as well. But Monaco's I had a nice nap. Yeah. You know what it is? Yeah, I had a nap here, and then I woke up and I think something was happening with Lando Norris, or was it Lando Norris or Piastri? One of them. But yeah, the car looked really nice. I actually want to say that the Senna DL, yeah, we're live, so I won't talk too much about Senna. But but yeah, the car is actually that was a nice tribute.
No, yeah, 100%. For me, they need to change Monaco. We need to just with Monaco, we need to change the rules because these F1 rules with these bolt cars, yeah, we can't have Monaco the way it is. They have to like introduce like refueling or something or mandatory pit stops.
Mandatory pit stops, man.
Just to add to strategy because, God, how can we get man driving 76 laps on mediums and be comfortable?
No, you know what it is, yeah. It's like I know people say bringing mandatory pit stops, but that just takes away from the essence of the actual race. The whole point of F1 is so you can come up with a strategy. If you want to do a two-stop, you do a two-stop. If you want to do a one-stop, you want to do one stop. I think what Monaco is heavily reliant on is red flags and safety cars at the moment to bring some type of entertainment, which as the drivers drive around it more and more, they kind of get used to it. So they're not making as much silly mistakes as they usually do. I mean, look, today, 90% of I say 90%. Yeah, 90%, 95% of the grid knew how to drive. Except Ocon and K-Mag. They're the only two that kind of messed it up for everybody.
Actually, no. They had like lap 1 incidents. It's the only person that made an actual mistake here was Stroll. He just clattered all for no reason at one point in the race, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, that was it. That was what happened. Sorry, I had a nap and I woke up and Stroll was in last place, and I was like, why did that happen? But then I saw he clipped the wall. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I feel like if you had refueling, it will force people to strategize, and then we'll be like, we know we're not going to get overtaken unless it's raining or something. So we know that's going to be a thing. At least then it forces people to come in, manage fuel and pace, and even though your tires could last, you still have to drive fast. It's like if you're forcing people to drive fast, they're more likely to crash or be on against the wall or some chaos happen. These men were driving like 5-6 seconds slower than what they can drive just to look after their tires to make sure they get to the end and not create gaps so people can't pit and stuff. It's like, this is boring. It's like, I know, and you have commentators trying to hype it up, basically going, to win the race as slow as possible. That's what Alan Prost said, but
I think there's Monaco is about the size of the cars as well.
Yeah.
Like in the past, it's not. In the past, it hasn't always been a great overtaking track, but you used to be able to overtake. But obviously, since we've gotten these massive hybrid cars now, it is a lot harder to overtake because when you're going through some of these turns and you're like, your car's basically 3/4 of the width of the road. How do you expect someone to get through that? How do you expect to have wheel-to-wheel racing? It's not a wheel-to-wheel racing track. I don't like it when it isn't fit for purpose, and I don't really like to say that because I think Monaco is such a heritage track that it kind of is needed on the calendar. It's one of the few I think is maybe needed on the calendar with that Silverstone. But you know what? In the past, they've gotten rid of Nürburgring, Hockenheim, so maybe it's time for Monaco to. Yeah, but I mean, if it's like. That is still those are still heritage tracks that still got rid of, and if you can get rid of them, then I don't see why Monaco really has to stay until the cars get smaller a bit. So I know they're saying for 2026 the cars should be getting smaller in size, but how much smaller are they going to get? Is it going to make a massive difference?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And
because what you need to do is go back to 2008 size cars. That's probably ideal.
But that won't happen because of crashes like Perez's crash today, where it's like, you need to beef up the cars. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And with that, we've gone through the two races, a procession.
Yeah, but no, big up Charles though, man. Getting your first home win, first monogas driver to win in Monaco. That's it, man. And
I know.
it was nice to see how emotional everybody was, and like even his brother was like, "Oh, this is the first time I ever cried to see during my brother's wins." And it would be nice if our dad could see it and whatnot. So I think it's a great moment for him. It's a great moment for his family. It's a great moment for Monaco as well to finally have him who has disappointed the last 6 years there. So it is good to finally see that.
Yeah. But shout out to Richard. He's probably crying in the club right now. His biggest up one. The curse is over.
But no, I also know for that bring back Monaco as well. It was a proper in a way. It was like a heritage race as well, man. It was nice to see the Ferraris and McLarens up front and not those other two washed teams. Well, I say washed, one washed team and one that's on PEDs. But yeah, so it's like, yeah. It was nice to see like the McLaren and Ferrari up top just going at it, racing each other. That is what we call heritage. That's F1 heritage right there. That's what we all grew up on. So yeah, man, love to see that.
Really do.
And I think it just shows for next season when it's Lewis and obviously McLaren are going to get better, and obviously the Red Bull is still going to be there. It is going to be, I think it's going to be like next season's going to be a really good one to finish up this end of this era, basically, with these engines. So I think we might even see a three-way title charge, hopefully, if the Red Bull isn't so OP.
I hope so, man. I think they've reached the law of diminishing returns, and this is what Formula One were betting on. But I don't like the fact that we're betting on this because it's like, you know, back in the day, in heritage days, man used to change the rules and be like, yeah, man, we changed the rules this year. We've had enough of you smoking everyone like this.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, let's move on to what I have had planned today. I'm going to move in, like, you know, when you're at Microsoft Teams, yeah, and you're like, can you see my screen? Tell me so you can see my screen. So I've prepped some tier lists, and obviously we did pod after the Miami Grand Prix where Lando won, and it inspired this tier list, which is the driver's first race tier list. You can see my screen already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, so obviously we have all the current winners on the grid and pictures of them after their first race win. And the tiers are Hall of Fame performance, what a drive, good win, lucky, and how has he managed that then? As in, it was so fluky that I can't believe he's won that race. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, enough race winners. Like half the grid has won a race now. So let's start off with the first person on the list that's won a race, Fernando Alonso. I know, Kwame, you were still in Pampers when this happened. So do you have any idea of where to put this?
Honestly, what, 2003 Hungary? Honestly?
Yeah, 2003 Hungary.
Hungary, yeah. He came from behind. I'm trying to think of that race. Okay, come from behind. I'll probably just put a good win or what drive.
Marts.
Hey, that's before my time. I can't lie.
Bro, why is this guy still here, bro? What? Actually, that's one last thing about Monaco, yeah. It's currently 4-4 between Lance Stroll, yeah, and Fernando Alonso. So, yeah. Yeah. It's 4-4 in quality between Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. He's looking peak, bro.
Maybe he's washed it. Maybe he actually is washed it.
I'm loving life right now. hating works. For what I remember, it was actually a very good drive, and he just blitzed everyone that day. So I'll put in War Drive. Unfortunately, none of the old heads have really come on, and
Right.
I'm not one to look back over Fernando Alonso race wins.
The only person that's going to come and argue against you is Rafa, man. But anyway,
All right, so I'll put in War Drive. We can be a bit objective. Next up on the list is Mr. Valtteri Victor Bottas, and his first win, which was Russia 2017.
Oh, that's when Russia
You
got
guys-
GPS to waste, man. Stop cheating that. Mad.
Do you guys remember anything about that?
I actually can't. All I remember is that there was like a big like patch. I remember there was like a big dry patch in it for him to win a race in it. That's the thing. For when he first changed Mercedes.
The fact that we can't remember anything, I'm just putting good win because it wasn't unlucky. He qualified pole and actually drove well, but just I think just good win because we can't remember a single thing.
hey, he's in one of the fastest cars, man. It's just a good win. It's a
That's
basic
the
win.
thing. And I remember even for the next dry patch as well, just not winning any races. I remember that period of like when Valtteri gonna get his first win, and then he had to do a race where he qualified P1 and then just won.
Yeah, because he got his first win in 2017, then took 2018 off and came back in 2019 and won a couple more races. Anyway, next up is Marx's favorite driver, Mr. Daniel Ricciardo. And was it Canada 2014? Yeah, Canada 2014. So, do you have anything to add?
Again. I didn't even remember that one. These are some forgettable races, man. Some forgettable wins. Like, what is this? I'll put him. If I remember, I'm gonna put in Warrior Drive because I think it was a very good race from him, if I remember. And at the time, he was up against Vettel, if I'm correct in saying, and against the two Mercedes as well. But I can't remember exactly what happened at the race.
Okay, because I'll add something at the end, and I might change your mind. Kwame, where you putting it?
I'm here. Oh, I'm here. Cool. I had some technical difficulties.
Okay.
I would actually put it probably good win or just because he came deep. Because I remember he qualified, I don't say P6, and he kind of drove up. He had a battle again with Bell to get the win as well. Again, winning in Canada in your first GP as well. It's not always easy because the conditions are usually a bit higgy as well.
See, I'm gonna say something controversial. I
Give him
think
his
he got lucky. I think his next race win in Hungary is like World Drive or like Hall of Fame kind of vibe. This one
is a Hall of Fame one. Is definitely his Monaco one. That is a
Monaco. Yeah. I'll see on the gearbox issue in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Because this one, I remember the Mercedes just pooed the bed, and that they had engine problems, and then this was when the engineers couldn't tell the drivers how to fix stuff. So you had Rosberg, just like he managed to fix it, but was still struggling, and you had Lewis, which was just bare loss, just pressing every button on the screen. Like when the old person at work here and the computer doesn't work, and like, how do I fix it? I pressed everything. That's what Lewis was doing that day. I remember it just happened to be him that capitalized. So I had it a bit like he's lucky, rather than like he absolutely cooked everyone.
Yeah,
but am I bugging?
I think we can go with that.
I think I can go with that, man.
I'm just looking up again.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
All right,
no problem.
And then we go to a more recent one that we should remember: Gasly 2020 Monza. So he was to take the floor.
That was lucky.
I'll be honest.
That was lucky.
it'll be
That
I'll
was
say
lucky.
lucky. The fact
Not
that
even
Science
lucky. That is a how's he managed that. That's a how's he managed that.
yeah, that's more of Science not doing his job in the faster car.
No. Forget signs. The person who bottled this race win, was Lance Stroll. I couldn't believe my eyes. I remember I tweeted, Lance Stroll's going to win a race. I was like, rah. Because he was like P2 or 3 in that rocket ship, pink Mercedes.
When they had the pink Mercedes
yeah.
signs. Yeah.
And he still ended up finishing 3rd. I said, huh?
Yeah.
It was catching
that's
towards the end, but it
like
wasn't enough. But the safety
then,
car is what kind of clutched it for Pierre, because if that safety car didn't come in, boy, it would have been.
And didn't Lewis's car break down as well, or something like that?
No. Magnus's car broke down, so they closed the pit lane, but Mercedes are stupid, so they pulled Lewis in anyway and gave him a penalty.
Yeah,
and then Leclerc went and crashed and red flagged the race for no reason. So yeah, it is a how's he managed that then.
And I don't think you could ever have a good race win at Monza, man. It's like one of the easiest tracks on the planet. I'm like, I'll be real with you.
No.
You're never getting anything better than a good win at Monza.
No. Only no, because fortunately for your sake, he retired. But Vettel's race win at Monza is like a Hall of Fame performance because it was raining, and he just smoked everyone.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, he's the only one with like a Hall of Fame. Everyone else, yes, Monza. And then Mr. 103 wins himself. Sir Lewis Hamilton. Montreal
China 2008. 2007.
Pardon?
Was it Montreal, or was it?
Yeah, Montreal 2007.
2007.
That's
This
a
is the
Hall
unfortunate one.
of
Kubica
Fame.
had this incident as well, but
Hall of Fame performance, and that is 100% biased.
I don't mind running with it because I remember his teammate was fighting. I remember his teammate was fighting Super Guris at the time and losing, so I don't mind.
it was a composed drive in it because like he literally from what qualified P1 and the race in P1, and he just pretty much just kept it. Obviously, had the BMW Saubers and all them, man, but he
Listen, he won it on a competitive grid. He won it on a competitive grid, and it was like his what, 6 races of his career.
6 or yeah, after that as well, because he's
that's a Hall of Fame performance, man.
And to be fair, Bear Man were doing up nonsense. I remember Massa and Fisichella got disqualified. I remember Kubica almost died. So yeah, Hall of Fame. And then today's race winner, his first win in Spa 2019, or if you want to be like the Ferrari haters, not Ferrari or him haters, who basically said today was his first league win, but we're gonna go by the books. That is Spa 2019, his first win. So thoughts?
That's another Hall of Fame performance, I think.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
I
can't. That's a top place, man.
Yeah, and the fact that he's one of his close friends passed away the day before, and he literally went out there and got the job done.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then the newest race winner, Mr. Lando Norris. So Miami, like a month ago. Where are we placing this one?
I'm in between Goodwin and Warrior Drive because Miami's just a dead track in the first place. And again, that's not a great overtaking track. He had to keep Max behind him, but I think that's about it. So I'll go Warrior Drive. I think it was a very good drive from him. So it might just edges Goodwin. It just edges Goodwin because I can't put it on the same level as Bottas his first win. I can't put it on the same level.
That's when
we could change the order. We could put him in front of Bottas. So let's say be like
because
you could be in the same tier.
But yeah, he's above Bottas, but it's not as from what I can see from Alonso. I was barely talking. I wasn't. Yeah, I'll probably say good win, but definitely ahead of Bottas, but below Alonso.
I want to have him. I wouldn't have him top of good win just because of that safety car that gave him life.
I hear that, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a lucky win as well, because there was luck to it, like I said, the safety car, but it wasn't like he was lucky per se. That makes sense. Like everything was kind of
because it's like it wasn't that Max had a issue through Red Bull, the car just breaking down on him. It was Max took himself off because he couldn't drive away. So
my hair bollock, you know. My hair bollock. Yeah.
I'll put it top of good win, and then that way we can all see rearrange at the end. And then today,
this is a how has managed it then. That race is ridiculous, because that was just a Mercedes botch job. That was full on terrorism. There was no way. Listen, if anything, that was Alonso's win, not his.
Alonso had a great position of that.
If it weren't for Alonso, he would never win that. He was never winning that. That is a house.
But how is it? But no, obviously as well. Max
he got so lucky. It wasn't even that, because it was literally because after the restart, they were doing a pit. It was a pit lane start. Yeah. So it was literally because he was the first one out of the pits and he managed to get to the front, and then Hamilton like an idiot decided that he wasn't going to pit. Well, between Hamilton and Mercedes, they both didn't know to come into pit.
Mercedes side.
It literally, and the fact of the matter is, Hamilton still got to set. He got third in it because Vettel. Vettel got disqualified.
Honestly.
So if it wasn't for Alonso, he was never getting that win because Hamilton was going to breeze past them, man. But Alonso kept him good behind for like a good 10 laps before he could do anything. That is one of the worst wins I've ever seen in my life.
That is a second.
I didn't respect it, because it got Alonso out of Alpine. That's the only reason why I respect it.
I think the only win I've seen that was worse than this win was, I remember watching this race back. I wasn't conscious like watching Formula 1 back then, but was Eddie Irvine, Malaysia 1999. I'm telling you, I've never seen a teammate put so much effort into not winning a race as Michael Schumacher did that day. He was backing up the McLarens half of the race and still finished like 2 seconds behind Eddie Irvine. I've never seen someone be so shit and win a race in my entire life in the fastest car.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
I'm not gonna lie. The French guys were exactly why I named the tier. How's he managed that then? I could not believe.
I don't think they could believe either, because it's not like they were in the cars of position that they thought were going to win. It was the circumstances that happened around them that caused them to win.
Bro, Bottas and Stroll doing terrorism in that first corner, and Alonso summoning all of the racism in his body and hatred for Lewis Hamilton to keep him behind for as long as possible. Unbelievable.
And you also had your boy Mick as well. Your boy Mick was cooking his match.
Might as well change that to Sacre Bleu.
That race is not real, man. How many man finished? 12 people finished? That race is not real, man. So,
everyone was getting points that day, man. Even Mick was getting points. When Mick got his first point.
No, because he was 12th. He was he did his job. He beat Alfa Romeo. So like,
that was the race. No, sorry, that was the race. George got the Mercedes seat. Sacrifice my race for the TV.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Sacrifice it for the TV, man. That's boy.
Do you know how funny that is? Yeah, because you know what happened? He's like, I sacrificed the race to the team. He's like, yeah, don't worry. I'll back up Max. I'll back up Max Verstappen for Latifi. bruv, he had Max Verstappen on his gearbox the entire race, yeah, and he caught up to Latifi. Like Latifi was like 30 seconds up the road, and he caught up to like 1 second behind Latifi. I said, Lord, we need to get Latifi out of the sport now. I couldn't really mind because I was so busy celebrating George having points so that stigma could end. Yeah, boy, it was a terrible day. But anyway, speaking about terrible days for George Russell, we have Sergio Perez's first race win, Sakir 2020.
This is another one.
That's
this
an
is another
asterisk
one.
win.
That's in that tier. Yeah.
But then,
That's an asterisk win, man. Ain't that the one where Lewis had COVID?
yeah,
Yeah, Lewis had COVID. George.
And then
had that
Mercedes
race, but he
botched
had
it as
how
well. Hey, this is enough.
Yeah.
How's he done that?
do you know what's funny? Because it is, but it's also a Hall of Fame drive at the same time because Perez
Because
got
he
caught up in
went
that.
to the back in it.
Yeah, because he got caught up in the Leclerc
many-
terrorism.
Yeah.
So Leclerc took himself and Verstappen out, and Perez was caught in that too. So he was last, and the man ended up first because Mercedes was stupid. I don't understand.
Yeah. This is that. Yeah.
They say all the time,
This is-
but
this
like
is-
that way.
This is
it's
this
on
is like
the
the Blassie comp.
Literally.
You just don't know if it's good or not. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest races ever. Because if you ask someone who finished second and third in that race, no one will know.
I'll put in Warrior Drive. Because there was too much going on for that. It wasn't perfect enough to be a Hall of Fame performance because, as I said, Mercedes literally had two drivers who could have won it, and they botched it by putting the wrong tires on.
That's such a bozo move, man. Like, I mean, when you've seen that live, I was thinking, I was there screaming at the TV. I'm thinking, how can you guys do this? Like, like, how can you get so wrong? And the thing is, as well, yeah, like they ruined like George. Like, it was more than once. Though. It was more than once they did it, because obviously he caught up as well. Remember, he went pit, the Bosch's pit. He came out, caught up again to the front, then botched it again. It was a mess, man. So bad the guy started crying, man. This is a guy who never got pointed before. The man was crying. Post race.
Yeah, I'll put a Warrior Drive.
I'll put a Warrior Drive because it was a good drive, and it's just funny because it's one of those races where you ask people who finished second, but no one will know. I know because I've used it to bat Danny Rick because I say, Ocon finished P2 in that race.
Yeah,
he gave a better performance to Danny Rick at the end of the year. You see, best finish, Ocon P2.
But another one gave a Lance should have been up there still. But hey, you know, we'll forget about that. Lance get P3, but that was the time when Pink Mercedes literally at its peak. And
yeah. Okay, moving on to the other Mercedes
Lance
driver.
won the race.
Pardon?
Lance Stroll hasn't won a race, has he?
No, he
was
hasn't.
meant to win two.
he's got a pole, but no race.
Oh.
No race win.
He got a pole position
Turkey.
in Turkey, and then obviously his car was broken halfway through the race, so he just kind of fell away.
Yeah.
Okay, now to Mr. George Russell,
Lucky.
Brazil.
Lucky.
Nah, man, that's a what?
That was lucky.
I'll put World Driver good one to you, fair. Like
How?
Okay,
How?
let me explain.
Because
explain.
It's only because Red Bull messed up, yeah. It was lucky. They messed up both the cars. It was lucky. There was nothing you can say that's like, oh, it was a good win. Everyone messed up everything. No one got the practice right. It was lucky.
Yeah, if everyone messed up, you're all in the same position, innit? I'm
was
just
lucky.
saying, yeah.
It was
He
lucky
got-
that he was the only one that managed to get set up right. He was lucky.
I'm just saying he put the car in qualifying, he put the car in the top 3, then ended the session. In the sprint race, got P1. In the main race, had a healthy gap. Then there was a safety car at the end, giving everyone opportunity, and he brought it home.
the one thing I will say though is similar to what we said previously, like the safety car again. If you do take that away,
No, that
with
adds
George,
to his.
that's the one race.
he was like over 10 seconds clear, and the safety car just this. That's why he was on his knees going, guys, can we have team orders?
Don't get my everything
Oh,
else kind of
sorry. That Lando win. Sorry, yeah, that Lando win. Where do we put it? Good win. We have to put that in lucky. Sorry, because now you mentioned safety car. That safety car picked up Max and gave Lando a gap to pit. If he did not get that gap to pit, he would not have won that race. That's lucky right there. Sorry, I'm dropping that. That's not even a good win. Drop it down to lucky. I remembered that. I completely forgot that fact.
Well, look, I just want to put George in good win because I'm just saying there was a bit of luck involved, but it's not what you call it. It's not like he was having a stink or anything. He was where he was supposed to be, and chaos happened around him.
Definitely. I think it probably could be facilitated to land one than to be fair in my head now.
Okay, it's 2 against 1. I'm not pulling it's not a dictatorship here, so there we are.
I win.
And then we have Mr. Santander himself, Carlos Sainz, Silverstone 2022.
What a drive.
Nah.
What a drive. It's between good win and war drive.
I'll put good win still for that, to be fair.
See, I'm putting that as a how has he managed that then?
No, that's nowhere near how.
No. Let me explain. Verstappen was in another postcode, and then Yuki crashed into Gasly, and it broke Verstappen's car. Then we had the safety car, Leclerc's first, and they don't box Leclerc, and they box Sainz. So Leclerc's on dusted hards, and they put Sainz on fresh softs. And then Perez was doing up nonsense and couldn't get past Leclerc. I'm sorry, this was the most nonsensical race I've ever seen. And then Ferrari tried to play team orders on Leclerc's dusted hards and Sainz's fresh softs, and he just told him to F off. That is the most lucky race win I've ever seen.
Fair enough.
This is no conversation. So, okay, if you call safety car lucky, no. Fair enough. If you call safety car lucky, we really call strategies and team orders lucky. Like the first call with the tires, don't get me wrong, at the time I thought it was Fugazi, but I didn't think it's lucky. I just thought, Ferrari just doing Ferrari and just, not do anything. But again, when you said again towards the end, especially with the whole, Perez struggling to get past, even though it was on the faster Red Bull, struggling to get past the Leclerc and all that nonsense. Towards the end, inside pretty much was just by default just had enough gap to just coast off. I'm not mad at your take. I'm not mad at your take.
I'll put him lucky, but that was shameful. And then we have Mr. Max Verstappen in Barcelona.
I can't even hate. Hall of Fame.
Okay,
Hall of Fame.
That's your yeah.
I think that out of all the wins, I think that is the most certified Hall of Fame performance.
I'm gonna say complete opposite. I'm gonna say that was one of the luckiest wins I've ever seen.
I don't care about the circumstances. He was 17. That is ridiculous, bro. I'm sorry, that's Hall of Fame. That is Hall of Fame. That's a madness right there. 17-year-old winning F1 race.
The thing I find lucky is how he got that seat, because obviously it would put him in. Yeah.
No, I think that is Hall of Fame performance. That is, yeah. You can't. It doesn't matter the circumstances. It was one of his earliest races. He's fresh into the team. It wasn't like he even had a seat. I think he didn't even have a season to settle in. He only had a few races to settle in.
No, that was his first race in Red Bull.
That was his first. That's my first for Red Bull.
Wait, didn't he win at Toro Rosso?
Yeah, first game.
No. First race in Red Bull, he won.
It
was when Rosberg and Hamilton crashed each other out, and then Vettel and Ricciardo were ahead, and they did a 2-stop, and Max and Kimi Räikkönen did a 1-stop.
I think he won at Toro Rosso. I thought that was a Toro Rosso.
No, I didn't win.
No, Vettel won at Toro Rosso.
Who else won at Toro Rosso then?
It's Vettel and
And
Gasly.
then Gasly,
Oh.
yeah.
All right, then. Warrior Drive, dropping it down to Warrior Drive.
It's top of Water Drive because it
Yeah.
was it was
All right,
it
then.
was it was something special, but it's also I sit there and going, I look at this race back and go, that was a lucky guy, bro.
But he did start like 8th in it or something like that. Or was it
No,
6th?
he started 6th.
6th. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Mercedes and then there was a split between the Red Bulls and Ferraris. Something like that.
What I might
It's
get
one
one track.
of kind of just there. It's one of the ways that F1 just kind of land up for him, man. Just how, yeah. I give credit to him though. Obviously, like your first race, with the new team, pressure on you as well because they're saying how do you get out all that stuff. I hear it on that side of thing, but the race it just felt like everything just kind of just fell on him.
Okay, so here's the ranking order. So if Hall of Fame performances is Hamilton 2007 Montreal and Charles Leclerc 2019 Spa. What a drive for Verstappen 2016 Spain, Alonso 2003 Budapest, and Sergio Perez 2020 Sakir.
I'm
Good
tempted.
win.
Yeah. I'm tempted, even though I probably don't know it. I feel like Alonso's performance probably was a Hall of Fame performance, even though it's before my time. I genuinely feel like it might have been a Hall of Fame performance.
It probably was.
Because we're haters, that's why
Yeah.
it's what you watch. So I think we need to move that up, man. Our respect for the man.
Okay.
Our respect for him.
Okay, so we've moved Alonso up to Hall of Fame. And then in good win, we have Valtteri Bottas 2017 Sochi. Lucky wins are Lando Norris, Miami 2024. George Russell, Brazil 2022. Danny Rick, 2014 Canada. Carlos Sainz, 2022 Silverstone. And how's he managed that then is the Cramp twins at Alpine. Pierre Gasly, 2020 Monza. And Esteban Ocon, 2021 Hungary.
I'd say that Ocon win is definitely the worst win of all time. Like, oh my gosh. It is terrible.
Okay.
Like, I don't even think as a man, he should not be able to say I won a race. I've been real with you. That is nepotism right there, man. That was nepotism. That's a nepotism win.
Yeah. Okay. And then we've gone for about 45 minutes. So I'll do another one because I'll save the driver one for another day. We could do the ranking of the tracks. So I put all 24 tracks on the calendar, and the tiers are: this is what it looks like. Great track. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bid. And remove the track boldy, which is a message for Dominicali because we need that track removed. And it's randomized order. I can't even tell what the first track is. Is that Coulter? I think this is the first track is America. So where do you want to put it?
That's what I want to meet. I would.
So what's the first track? Miami.
Coulter. No.
Coulter.
Texas. Yeah, Austin.
Great track.
I think I was maybe good, sometimes maybe mid, but
I think so. I think Coulter's a good track.
Actually, a really good
it's a good
track.
It's a good track, but I won't say great track. That's the thing. But I'll say good track.
We've never actually had a bad race there.
Yeah.
Great track. Cool.
Okay, next up is Albert Park, Australia.
remove that track badly, man.
We'll use that body.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, if you think with Albert Park, Melbourne, it's like it's heritage. It's the season stars are cool, but apart from that aspect of it, the actual racing of it, I'm not mad with the move to track body.
And then next up is Austria.
You know what? Yeah, Austria's a track. Yeah, I think it's what saved a lot of F1 seasons. I thought because it's one of what I remember one year it was one of the ones we had like when we first had 2022. It literally had the best race of 2022, Austria.
Yeah.
So I think this is what it looks like.
Yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, there's been some good moments since we've come back. I think the only time it's been rubbish was 2021, but that's just because Max Verstappen was so far gone.
So clear, yeah. It's been yeah. This is what it looks like. I'm not mad at that. It's a good track. It's a very fast-paced track. It's yeah.
And then the track where I had the worst moment of my entire life, Bahrain.
Well, you might have been there. So
I watched Alonso overtake Lewis Hamilton in turn 9 and 10. I don't want to reminisce that.
I want to be biased and say, obviously, this is what it looks like, but no. I'm talking from be objective as a track.
I think do you know what it is? It's a great track, but we need to stop testing there because when we test there, the teams have all the data, so it's going to be in order of what car's fastest, and there's no like jeopardy or no like we got the setup wrong.
Because I feel like when we went to Sakir during the whole COVID point, you saw a big difference, and you saw something kind of new and something different. Now, like you said, like when they do testing there and then they race there, it's kind of already the same. The issue again, the track obviously we know cool, there'll be high tech and all that stuff, cool. But apart from that, like I said, it's pretty much the same as in test. There's not much variety to it. But as a track, it's a good track. As a track, it's a calm track. But
so what tier are we putting it in?
I think maybe pretty great track. I think it's one of the few tracks. You know what? I wouldn't say it's one of the few tracks in the Middle East that are great but I think there's one track that's going to cause different opinions.
Okay. Next up, we have Baku.
You know, I'll give it its credit, man. It's one of the better modern street circuits out there, and like it's kind of the modern Monaco, to be fair to it. So I will give it its props and probably go. This is what it looks like in it.
I don't, Marts.
I would have put in some. It's between sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid and great track. It's somewhere in between that. Like, I don't have great memories of Baku. I'll just be real with you, like. But
yeah,
it is. As Kwame is right, it's probably one of the better street tracks. So
I have it sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. Because I sit there and last year it was mid, but then you have the chaos races which are good, but like
that's the issue with Shatter Death Star. Like it literally requires chaos for it to be good. Like
yeah,
it literally requires for you to enjoy it.
Yeah, if you're relying on chaos to be good, you're sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid, bro. I can't sit there and watch these races. Okay. Barcelona.
That's Barcelona,
I
yeah. Oh man, it's such a.
I want to put in. I want to put in. This is what it looks like because of that one Hamilton performance there, but it's not. I don't think it's that good of a track. I'll be real with you. I think it's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. Because I remember there was a period, where Barcelona was just mad boring. Until that Hamilton performance, it was mad boring.
Yeah. I think it goes sometimes maybe because sometimes we see there's some good races there, but a lot of times it's a lot of dross. Okay, now I can't work out what track this is.
I think I might be Interlagos. I think.
Yeah,
That's
I think
yes,
it's
Interlagos.
This
Yes,
is what it looks like.
Yeah, this is
like, man. Go
this
track.
is peak what this is what it looks like. And then next up we have Zandvoort.
Yeah. That track's only there for Max Verstappen. It's an air.
You know what's funny? Cause 2022 and 2023 were actually like kind of good races.
There were years Mercedes bottled all three of them, basically. There were all 3 years Mercedes should have won those races and they bottled all 3 of them. So it's just crazy. To me, it's an air track. I'm not like it's not a track I look forward to. It's not Zandvoort. Is that
And I don't look forward to it. But when I'm there, I'm kind of like, apart from 2021, which was actually just boring. And, you know, but Kwame.
I put air as well. I think for air.
Yeah.
Hold on, I think that's Qatar, and I think we put it as Qatar. I think that's Abu Dhabi.
Oh, this is Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we putting Abu Dhabi?
See, I want to go one day, but I will probably put it as we move the track. Oh, yeah. It's such a the season. Actually, no. You know what? It's had some decent tracks. Actually, you know what? It's actually decent. I put it sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. Actually, think about it now. I was very close to putting the track, but sometimes.
I have terrible memories of Abu Dhabi, so remove that track immediately.
I'm gonna put it in because it's given me one of my least favorite moments of Formula One history, and one of my favorite Formula One moments of all time. 2010 will never forget you.
That's good. So. And this one next is Hungary.
Hungary.
Hungary, yeah, that's Hungary. Such a weird one, you know. I feel like again, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. Because again, it's a track that relies on a lot of times the weather being rainy or chaos.
Mark, anything for Hungary?
It's another one that relies on chaos, doesn't it? I put it on air. Actually, I don't mind it. Like in a way, it's kind of is one of my favorite tracks. Weirdly, but I think it's a bit of an air track as well.
And something. Imola.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put the places to remove the track, Baldy. We're only there, bruv. We're there because we went there for COVID and Max Verstappen spun off one time. No.
We were good about it, man. Call out, man. We were good about it. Do we need to Italian races and even now as well? Like such a mess track. It's we move the track. Yeah, we move the track.
The minute can't remove that, but I don't want to see this place again. Anything, Marsh? Anything to add on Imola?
No. Pretty much echo the same points, really.
Jeddah. So I think this is going to be probably one of the more controversial ones.
Ooh.
Hey, listen. This is what it looks like. That is the best street track. That is the epitome of a street track. I love that track. And I know a lot of people don't like it because they say it's too dangerous and you got blind corners. But I feel like it's F1 at its peak. It's speed, it's technical skill, everything. I think the problem with Jeddah is the tire deck. It doesn't have. I think the tire deck isn't very good at it. I think it's basically you don't even need to change your tires. You could probably do the whole race on hards, but that is about it. Jeddah obviously apart from the flying missiles from time to time as well, but that is it. But Jeddah it is what it looks like track. That is my personal opinion.
Kwame?
I would put it actually I should put it as a great. It's a weird track. I put it as a great track. I mean, I do like the jeopardy of it. I do like the tightness and the high speed of it. Which works as a quality. As a race, I put it a great track to be fair. But again, I know it's one, like you said, it's one that is very controversial. You either love it or hate it. It's a very one my track. But I'll put it on the great track. But if they do move it, I wouldn't thought any matters of them being moved to be fair. So I'll get both sides.
I am drunk. Don't mind me. Yeah, no, I have it on. This is what it looks like. This is one of the most. I don't remember. I think the only kind of bad one was 2021. No, not 2021. I mean 2023. Because 2021 was one of the funniest races I've ever seen in the history of Formula One. Because everyone was upset. I've never seen a race where everyone's upset.
That is true. It didn't even matter that Hamilton won it. Everyone was just upset because of the nonsense that went down that day. 2022 had a good race because it was Charles and Max just doing the same thing, playing chicken to the DRS line.
Yeah.
Last year Max just smoked everyone. That was it.
No?
Oh no, Perez. It was Perez.
Perez
Max
won.
broke down. Max broke down and Perez won.
This is when the man tried to. He's the king of the streets propaganda man, and yeah, that's why I lost it, man.
And
I think we could be a great track. I think it's not quite that.
That's the best happening because this is what it looks like.
It's great track.
But again,
No,
does anyone have ouches like that? Rebel Arena does have ouches like that.
The thing is, I want it on This Is What It Looks Like because it just annoying my head. He hates Jeddah. I'm like, this is the best, bro. Because remember, like, yeah, no. Okay, what track is this?
That's maybe Mexico still.
That is Mexico.
Yeah, and who's the track, Woody?
Marks?
Mexico. Oh, that's another one I have bad. You know what it is? I hate Bottas. I hate Bottas. Every time I hear Mexico, I just think of Bottas and I just hate him. I'm gonna put sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. Because I don't think it's an air track. It's not a bad track either. I just think it's just one of those ones. It's like it's sometimes good, sometimes bad. Like you can't get a good race at Mexico. And I remember for a while, Mexico was the only thing that was breaking the Mercedes dominance. Like it was the only track they couldn't win at for a while. So it's like, yeah, I don't mind Mexico. I'll give them that.
I'm kind of with Kwame on the remove the track body because I cannot stand Mexico. I find it boring. Your USB cannot be that our engines are running as asthmatic engines. I can't do it, bro.
No, the USB is card. Literally, USB is. If Checo wasn't there, this track will not be there.
No, it would be there.
If that's Gutierrez, it's Perez, we will not be racing it. I can't.
Bro, and then when he goes into the stadium, hey, that is wicked, bro. That grandstand is a madness.
No, the stadium part is cool, but do you know what it is, yeah? It's when you're watching these men follow each other, yeah. And I'm just like, bro, you can't like overtake because you can't slipstream one another. I'm like, this is air, bro. This is like, okay. I'll be nice to put in.
I'll concede to whatever you don't want, to be honest. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fight for Mexico.
Okay. I'm trying to work out what this track is.
I think this is Miami still.
Okay, that's Miami.
Yeah,
but it put in Miami.
It's just that there hasn't been enough. I feel like for me to judge it, because the first year I wasn't a fan, but this year was much improved.
Really track booty.
it's either sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid, or maybe track ball. It's
When
one
has
of
it
them.
ever been good? When
No,
was Miami?
when K-Mac had Leclerc the stress for like 5 laps, that was great, and that was box office entertainment, bro. He did that for the love of the game. He said, "I know my tire's gonna be dusted, but I'm doing this for the love of the game, bro." But yeah, no, this track has to go. It's
Go,
whack.
man.
It has to go.
If they're bringing in if they're bringing another American race, Miami has to go. I'll be real with you.
Oh, no, for sure.
Your money maker be Vegas. All right, if you want to street track it in Chicago, fair enough. But really and truly, like, it's just not it. It's not it, man.
No.
You know, a circuit is done when they're doing fake. Got a fake pool there. You know, people are quick. They try swimming and flipping. So it's just forget this fake stuff, man. I just want street circuits, or road circuits. Don't give me no in between stuff. Allow it.
Also, the fact that it could have made this is what it looks like if they had Justine Sky on the broadcast, but unfortunately, we didn't see her until after this thing was done.
But thanks the boys for that as well, man. That come on, man. You have Regina King there as well, and then you try to do afterwards, man. Come on, man. That's a legendary game, man. You don't do that, man.
Oh yeah.
So wait. Speaking of that, did you see at Monaco today with the Mbappe and Bundle?
I didn't watch this. I turned on my stream turned on my Sky Go at 1:59. No, 2:59. I mean, a minute before the race. That's when I turn it on. No coverage.
Man told him, man, you can't do what he said. You can't do this. I run this track.
Oh, I think the bodyguard as well. You know, I'm like, man.
Is that? And listen, this is my territory. But I agree with you, know. Sometimes these publicists just need to just like allow it. Like if he wants to have a quick word with Mbappe, you ask Mbappe and just he's not gonna ask Mbappe anything about football, is he? Just let man ask a couple questions about who he's supporting and what he's doing there, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. This track was actually China. Yeah. So where we put in China.
Great track. Even though it wasn't great this year, I think it's a great track normally, though.
Yeah, great track's cool. Yeah, I like China. I think the China, obviously, you've had the large gap in obviously due to COVID, so it's been obviously big. But before that, I'll put on a good track. Great track, yeah.
What track is this?
Monaco, innit?
Yeah, Monaco, innit?
See, this is the weirdest.
Monaco.
This is the weirdest track because Saturday this is what it looks like.
Yeah, qualifying in Monaco's A1.
Today is remove the track.
I think that means right back in the middle then. But even then, it's really sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad. Like, probably a good Monaco race in years.
No,
Monaco needs its own tier of just heritage because that is the only reason it's on this track. Okay, yeah. It's for no other thing than heritage and billionaire networking.
No. I will add this. I think we were harsh on some of the Monaco races because last year was actually a good race, but because Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso bottled it, we didn't get you lot who are not Alonso haters didn't get the ending you wanted. Because if they had pitted for intermediates, Max Verstappen was crashing along the barriers for 1 lap. But because they fitted on dry tires, Alonso was also crashing along the barriers. So that's how Max Verstappen ended up with like a 20-second lead for no reason. And then you also had you had Perez and George bottling it all over the place. Ocon podium. Ferrari's thing. Last year was actually pretty good. And then 2022, the Ferrari thing.
You don't have enough good races to put in. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. It doesn't have enough good races for that.
Yeah, but I feel
like it's just it's a heritage track. It's like it is purely heritage.
Okay, we can just put in because we're here for heritage purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but heritage only, man. Yachts and networking and all that stuff only, man. That's
So
Canada.
That's Canada.
Canada.
Sure. So for me, I'll say this is what it looks like. So Like that's just me personally. I love that track. So
Marks.
I love classical moments. You've got the World Champions there as well.
I'm gonna leave this one to you lot because I don't know much about Canada. I'm like, I feel like I don't even feel like I've ever watched a race at Canada. I'll be real with you.
Do you know what it is? Wait, what did you wait? What did you put in again?
I'll put in this is what it looks like still. But
I might have to put in great track.
that's cool. I'm not that.
I'll put it top of
Issue. I feel like one issue with Canada again, similar to some of the tracks we said. So it relies on chaos, but it gets a lot of chaos just because of Canada in general. So the conditions are going to be for fugazi or against a high speed. It's a street circuit, but it's not really a street circuit. So people are going to bin it anyways there. So yeah, that's the kind of good thing about it. It relies on chaos, but it's got enough natural chaos where it doesn't need stuff like sprinklers.
Okay, Monza.
Monza is wow.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. When I'm there next year in 2025 and Lewis Hamilton wins in a Ferrari, it's going to the top of this is what it looks like. But until that day, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid.
Yeah,
it's
I was thinking about that.
It's a really much a DRS train, especially with the new cars. Like back in the day, Monza used to be a better race, but right now it's just a DRS train, isn't it? It's like
it's literally DRS train and low downforce, inshallah, or low downforce, a good way we want to call it. That's literally what that's. The thing is, with the ones that obviously it's got the Tifosi, it's obviously got its own heritage associated with it. So cool, it gets to take on that side, and also just don't know like a general like qualifying day. You know, it's a good track. You know, because Jazz Punch going to flat out, but on the race day, it's very very meh. Again, another track relying on chaos of rain or bad first start into the first chicane. A lot of people usually been as well. So. But yeah, sometimes good, sometimes maybe I think it's a fair place to put Monza.
Yeah. Okay, let's do Qatar.
Get that MotoGP circuit out there.
It's a MotoGP track. Yeah.
Yeah, we just go there. The home of racing, Silverstone.
Silverstone.
Yeah, Silverstone.
Yeah. This is what it looks like.
Was that Vegas? Suzuka, Spa.
Yeah.
This is
Singapore.
Yeah, so that's what it's like for Silverstone for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's certain times you have reservations about it, but you know, it always comes clutch. So,
and then Singapore.
That's a great street track. I'm sorry, that is a great track.
A great track. This is a great track. One of the most endurance tracks as well on the grid as well. Very humid conditions. Again, the Singapore sling. That I was going to take good of that.
I'm even tempted to put it on to this is what it looks like because I feel like it's unique in the sense of, as Kwame says, it's the only real endurance track you have on there because that race can go on for 2 hours and you will have to stop. So I am very tempted to put on this is what it looks like track.
Yeah, the OG night race as well, man. The OG night race before they tried to do every Middle Eastern race under trial conditions. This track that it's seen, man. So I applaud this is what it looks like. So I can't lie. It's definitely and the tickets are.
I'm not going to complain because obviously it gave us last year was a entertaining race. 2022 was one of the funniest races we've ever had in Formula One history because everyone stunk. So I'm not gonna moan at it.
I know last year's race was goated, man.
That race was mad, man.
George
I
winning it for nothing was hilarious.
I lost my head because I was at a festival and I was watching the race. And then, you know, when you get a WhatsApp notification just going, George low. Yeah. I said, huh? And then that notification pops up. I see George just smash into the bar. I'm like, huh? I had to straight to the bar. And I was like, give me like 4 tropical rumbles, please. Like, I
The
am.
endorphins were endorphining that day. Because
Bruh.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't that also? I think Arsenal were playing some. I think Arsenal were playing City that day, weren't they?
No,
I think
Everton. Yeah, and Trossard scored the winner. No, cause I remember, yeah, because I remember I went to the festival, yeah, and I was ready to talk crud because they're going, just put in the front row.
I remember. You were at what's it called?
Boiler Room Fest.
Boiler Room Festival. I remember. Man
I
was
remember,
there crying in the rain, you know.
bro. I had my George Russell hat here. I was ready to be like, as I say, I'm outside, we winning, we outside, we enjoy. I was gonna chat so much crud in the group, and then he bends it like that. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Bro, man was crying in the rain, like Ray J.
Oh God. Anyway, then the next track, Spa.
Now, this is a dangerous track. Spa's just a weird. Spa is weird because it can be a good track, yeah. But when it rains, it pours, and you'll end up having dumb things like George Russell getting his first podium. Doesn't make sense.
That was.
Well, there's many that we go into Spa sometimes. We don't know if we're gonna have the race. It's literally that bad there. Like if it rains, you're wondering, are we actually gonna have this race? So I'm like, they had to change. Obviously, they had to change it, move it up to earlier in July. But again, I'm gonna put it in sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid, because of just the fact the last couple races where it has almost rained out and washed out, and you're like, are we even gonna have this race?
I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, you know that George Russell podium. The only reason I can get away with claiming that yet is because Perez binned it on the reconnaissance lap and dropped to last place. That's the only reason I can claim that podium.
Did he bin it?
Yeah, he binned it, man.
He crashed it on the way to the grid. He crashed
on the promotion lap. Yeah, we binned it, and then.
But then he also, didn't he also do something dumb as well, where he overtook on the formation lap or something, or behind a safety car?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He did something dumb. I remember because he got a penalty that day because he overtook Lando, I think, on the under the safety car.
I remember that race being the race where obviously there was no fastest lap, but the graphic came up and it was under Nikita Mazepin.
Yep.
And then Haas were like, streets will never forget, yeah. I've never seen a team's mentions be so like rage-induced in my entire life. I couldn't believe my eyes. What a weekend. So wait, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid?
Yeah.
I'm not angry at that take. It's such a weird track. Yeah, that's cool. You can put it there. Like, because history-wise and all that heritage, all that stuff, and even just, Rouge, bus stops, all these different corners, going flat out. Like, it's a good circuit, but it's like Monaco, but to a lesser extent where I'm not sure if it's actually fit for modern racing at the moment. Just because one little bit of rain, and just like that, something bad's gonna happen. And again, if there's no, rain or chaos, then sometimes it can be a bit of a mid track. So it's such a weird one. But there are like again, you look back, there are go-to races, but is it that many go-to races for it to be in this order, like compared to your Silverstones or your Interlagos or Candace? I'm not sure. So
My one ensuing memory of Spa, which is one of my weird memories, is 2017 when Vettel was chasing Hamilton, and then Hamilton lifted off, and so Vettel had to lift off. But Vettel had DRS and slipstream, but the Ferrari engine was breathing so heavy he couldn't overtake Lewis. That was the day Ferrari said we're building illegal engines. That was that day that they said we're building illegal engines, and that's how Leclerc won in 2019. They built rocket ships from there on in. Okay, to the next one, Suzuka.
Ooh, Suzuka. It's another one that suffered post-COVID, I think. But then it's also got similar problems. I think it's also got similar problems to Spa in terms of the rain. Like this is a track again where rain that does affect it a lot. And obviously, I think we also remember the worst situation that happened in recent F1 memory with Jules Bianchi. But it's again, I do like that. I do love Suzuka, man. I think it's one of the only races I wake up early for to watch. That in China, there's the only two I actually wake up early to watch.
I think this is what it looks like, because 22 was actually, it was rain affected, but it was banging, and it was so like, it was just funny. That race was just funny because like we had the Alonso and Vettel battle, we had Charles bottling at the end.
Yeah.
All sorts, and there was like great overtakes inside, outside. Even this year, there was great overtakes inside, outside. It was just 2023 that was a bit whack.
It's a good track, man. Like, I mean, they say all the time. It's a very drivers track, driver sweeping. You've got 130, you're going flat out. You've got chicane left, right, center. Like it's very it's a good track. Like
it's a proper racing track. It's a proper racing track.
It's a proper racing track. I'll probably put it on this. It looks like as well, or great track even. For me, Suzuka. So like in my head, I've always had like Interlagos, Canada, Silverstone. I've always had Suzuka just below that. But like you're putting like this is what it looks like. I'm not gonna dispute that either. To be fair, so
yeah, Mars.
Yeah. I think putting this is what it looks like. Yeah, I'll put this is what it looks like. Because I would have had it there before, but I'm just like I'm thinking that's a lot of tracks if this is what it looks like.
Yeah, because the thing is, we have to think about it. It's Interlagos, Silverstone, Austria, Jeddah, just because we're sickos. Singapore, the OG night race, and then Suzuka. So it's like
that's true. That's true.
It's about right.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And then the last one, Vegas.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
Kwame.
I'll put Twitter under the chat boardy. But
honestly, did anyone actually watch Vegas last year?
Okay,
I don't remember anyone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone, when we messaged in a group who wants to do a pod, everyone's like, I didn't watch the race.
No, I watched it, but I was too knackered because I was outside watching it. So I went out the night before. I got home, watched it, then fell asleep.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was in the club. I literally got home for Crofty saying lights out on the way we go. So I was just watching it in bed, like just very tired. So yeah, I don't know how I managed to pod that day, but I was finished. Yeah, but the thing is, I want to go, but if I have enough money to attend the parties.
See, this is what I was thinking, but the parties always be there in Las Vegas. It always will be there. F1 or not
yeah,
F1.
But, I could have been partying with Future, bro. You know how funny it was, yeah, that Leclerc, I think he attended the practice, then went to the boxing, and then, is at the boxing and then attended practice. these men were just on nonsense. That whole weekend was
It's an
wow.
unserious weekend. I'll be real with you. It's an unserious weekend, but they're making $1.2 billion, so who cares?
Pretty much. All right. It goes and remove the track body. The thing is, the race last year wasn't even that bad. It was like, I know Max won, but he only won because George Russell had a George Russell moment rather than Max was good. So, but he has to earn its stripes.
I feel like
You
because
know,
because it's only got one, put in air.
Yeah, okay.
I think he'll give it another year to see what it's like. But yeah, I won't be staying up to watch Vegas again.
I have to
It was
see
funny.
on what.
I actually remember because I didn't wake up and I said I'll watch it on the replay and I fell asleep during the replay as well. So
I'll see what resident advisors saying. Yeah, if something's good going on, I'll stay awake. If not, you'll see me tweet about it at 12 o'clock, bro. Actually, one last thing, yeah. The Monte no more sprint races at China, please.
Please, I'm begging, man.
That 4 a.m. sprint race, yeah, I cannot believe it, bro. Had me kettled, bro. I wasn't even home. Okay, so in the rank of this is what it looks like. We have Interlagos, Silverstone, Austria, Jeddah, Singapore, and Suzuka. In great tracks, we have Canada, Qatar. Hey, what track is that?
It's not. I can't be up with that. I can't be up.
that is I know what track that is. That is, I'm just looking it up now.
Wait, did I get the
That
tracks
is
wrong?
Bahrain.
Bahrain. There we go.
Bahrain.
Yeah, so
Bahrain, and then China. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe mid. We have Baku, Barcelona, Monza, and Spa. In air, we have Monaco, just on heritage reasons. Hungary,
That's Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, Zandvoort, and Las Vegas. And remove the track body, we have
Mexico,
Australia,
Miami.
yeah, Miami, Imola, and Qatar.
Yeah.
We're saying this like I'm not thinking about going to Qatar this year. Hey man, those chicks are cheap, bro. Like £100. I don't mind sitting in the desert for £100. It's December, bro. It's cold in this country. I'm not trying to be here.
that's true. I can't lie.
And with that, we've podded for like an hour and 20 minutes. I'll save the other tier list for another day.
Yeah, man. I need to go get some sleep, get ready for tomorrow.
Exactly, man.
Hey, I can't wait.
All right. So for those of you who made it to the end, thank you for watching. Once again, I'm going to reach our socials. Follow us on Instagram, Pitstop Fracas, Twitter, Pitstop Fracas, TikTok, Pitstop Fracas. And we'll see you sometime next month. I haven't decided yet. I have to see what my calendar is saying. And until then, peace.
In a bit.